Hi guys and good evening. It is the 1st of August 2022, 7:17 p.m. London time. So I said I would release this yesterday to give you a Sunday market review, but one, I was busy, and two, I thought it'd be better to wait for the New York Monday session to open in order to give a more effective review. So wherever you're tuning in from today, I hope you're well. My intentions today are to be precise and to be as helpful as possible. So we're going to talk about altcoins today, but to talk about altcoins, we need to talk about market context. So quickly going to look at the NASDAQ and then move down to Ethereum and then through to a few alt opportunities that I see manifesting in the market at the moment. First thing is, what's the NASDAQ doing and what has it been doing? So if we look at it from the monthly perspective, we've just formed a huge bullish engulfing candle for the NASDAQ on the monthly, right? On the weekly, we have moved to this local high, which could serve as liquidity for a down move. We've taken the low. Marked out here, I have a series of two lower highs marked out to give you a channel high. The daily chart is currently in the middle of nowhere, all right? So we're around that area. Uptrend is being formed by these ascending lows here. So there's no break in market structure yet. Combining this for the NASDAQ, my thesis on this is twofold. Neutral to bearish. So neutral means that as long as this higher low structure stays intact, I think from here towards this kind of channel descension, we can have positive movement in the markets. If we lose this lower time frame parabola on the daily, then I think we're moving to new lows. Crypto markets will follow. So it doesn't matter what Bitcoin is looking like on the weekly or monthly. If this uptrend fails, you want to be out. Seeing as the NASDAQ is in a strange region, so if we look at this from an inverted perspective, right? My idea is that if we got a new high on the inverted, that would be our final bottom, right? So we could possibly form a low here and then move higher to form divergence on the monthly. That would therefore be the bottom for me on the NASDAQ, right? Just using technicals. What that says to me for crypto is, yes, there are swing shorts to be had, but within the general region of BTC and altcoins, I am primed to be looking for a bottom, okay? And if you know anything about the bull market review I put out in private to probably a few hundred people, you know that I'm expecting a bottom in Q4, okay? So the market context of this is, while this may move around here, anything lower, I'm not really looking to be on the short side, all right? You could label that as asinine, but I want to be slightly early in looking for longs and accumulating alts via spot, okay? Because my general idea is that if we do get another cycle, of course, altcoins are going to go with it, specifically emerging sectors such as the metaverse that haven't really had a proper cycle yet. If we therefore and now carry this context on to BTC, BTC is trending up on the weekly quite aggressively. Now I'm going to show you the inverted for BTC, and I'm going to basically say it doesn't make any sense for us, in my opinion, to assume this pumps to new highs, right? We're in the middle of nowhere on the weekly, and the monthly is downtrending quite strongly. In general, there's a weekly gap until the 26,000 region, right? But we could go much lower if traditionals hold pace here. I think in general, the market is trigger happy towards the downside. So a lot more people are desperate to short than long here. That's how it feels. Here it was the other way around. But as we approach the 20K regions repeatedly, it feels like people are consistently looking for shorts. Now, that could be absolute bullshit according to statistics, But it's what I see and what I feel. So I'm going to go with that for now. Locally, BTC is therefore in an uptrend, and like the Nasdaq, it's forming these higher lows in ascension. Therefore, anything within the last week's range can serve as an entry for a higher low, right? Providing the market context holds, right? Does that make sense? The chart that I sent out on Twitter a few days ago was the following without this. Any move to this weekly open, which was on the 25th of July, anything below that, right, or anything around that region, I'm looking for weakness. The lower it gets below here towards kind of this region, the more I'm inclined to long, because the risk to reward is both higher there, but also we're very close to invalidation, okay? So the level that I'm really looking to go long on BTC is right here, is the 21,000 region. Long to new highs at that point and move up my stop if that was enabled. I think in general there are going to be some stops right here at this low. If we go down to a lower time frame, we could see that that was a previous point of equal lows. So I think that is going to get taken out personally. If we don't take that out, there is another interesting idea I have here, is that we may just range, right? So I think that if we don't get some depth towards the downside, I think we can range, and should that ranging price action compress in a direction like this, I would take the back end side of that to higher prices. The reason why I think that if it doesn't move lower quickly that we're going to range is because you see all these down movements that have preceded, that have come before this uptrend. You get a high, you get an engulfing move down, and then a new high. For now, it's not wise for me to think we act differently given the context that we're in. Therefore, I'm expecting a quick move down to here and then a move to new highs. That is precisely what I'm expecting. How high we go from there is a little bit difficult. I think if we do get a new high towards that 2600 region, it's gonna be looking a little bit steamy for me, yeah? I don't really want to be in at that point. So if the market trades to this region, I'm gonna switch from looking for longs to neutral and bearish, meaning I will look for signs of distribution if that occurs. The idea of this is that this could absolutely break down here, yeah? That doesn't have to follow what we've said. The Nasdaq may just engulf, but that's the risk you take when you take trades. This is the context I'm using at the moment. I will take a short if, for example, we form a new low here, then we form a lower high, we compress, and the back end flops, right? That's where I would take a short. Obviously, price action never occurs perfectly, but I'll be looking for something that follows that general paradigm. That is BTC and the Nasdaq discussed. I hope that's clear from both sides of the equation. If we now look at total 3, we get an idea of what altcoins are doing. Now, one thing to note on altcoins is that we have a monthly up candle, so a strong monthly up candle. We have almost, it looks like a swing low happening here. So you have a low, a lower low, and a higher low. On the weekly, we appear to be uptrending, but we're in an area that is a little bit difficult, because if you see previously, we have a lot of history here. We have a pivot here, pivot here, pivot here, pivot here, also a pivot here. Now, the fact that we got below that, but we're now reclaiming it, right, makes me bullish. And it makes me bullish until the most obvious next level, which is the 512 billion marker. So for total 3, okay, for altcoins in general, I think that the general idea for me is up until my contextual framework dies, right? Typically in this area, you know, you'd be expecting, because a lot of volume is traded here previously, for us to be a little bit more bearish than perhaps I'm being right now. And I am watching that as a possibility. So a move into this mid-range and then a move to new lows, yeah? That is on the cards. But for me, what it comes down to is Ethereum, Okay, it's been leading this move and can be used as a proxy for all other alts. Ethereum is uptrending aggressively on the weekly. On the daily, it's possible that we have a range high failure here. But again, until we have a low ascent that is breached, I think we're going to go a little bit higher on ETH, right? My general thesis on Ethereum is that we're going to reaccumulate on a lower time frame here and blow this high out, yeah? And then from there, come back down, retest, and go to new lows. So this is the current paradigm I'm using, but that will change if this low structure gets assaulted. Okay. You know, that assault of that low structure on all coins, however, may also be a trap. So, you know, we could do something like this, where this was one entire impulse, and then we form a movement from there. For that to occur, you would need to see some level of reaccumulation here or battle of positions in order to take us higher, of which a first target would be that level. But that is in the future. For now, we're in an uptrend, and I'm looking for longs, okay? So the total 3 Ethereum, BTC, and NASDAQ ideas have been given to you. From there, we now want to look at what are the opportunities in the markets. And before I do that, I want to draw a correlation with what I think may happen if we range or continue up on total 3 here. So if you look at a few market leaders such as Matic, such as CRV, and I think we had some others. Of course, Ethereum was one of them, but it's not in this paradigm for me. I'll just use Matic and CRV for now. We're seeing this a lot in the market where alts are hammering these levels and then smashing through them, right? You can see it here, and I think you saw something similar with CRV2, yes. So you have, it's not exactly the same, but you have a move to the supply zone, and then you have a smash through it. I think in general, if alts move, that's what's going to happen to them. What I'm also watching is because Matic kicked this general move off, it is also looking weak here, yeah? So if we get to here, and I'm long alts still, I'm going to hedge by taking a Matic short back down to the origin of the pump. Yeah, I'll conclude all this at the end of the video so it makes perfect sense to you. But this is suggesting that we're at a point of weakness. So if you look on the inverted, yeah, perhaps we take out that monthly high, but that's it for me. Yeah, that's it. So there's a lot of caution to be had in general in the alt market. So from there, if we do get pumps in the market, I think we're going to follow this general stance, all right? So how do we copy and paste that onto charts that may look like they're lagging, yeah? Well, there are a few things I'm tracking and I've labeled them as laggards, yeah? Or just structures that on their own are doing pretty well. The first opportunity in the market right now is DOT, right? So for me, right, DOT is trying to form a swing low here. So you have a low, a low, a low, and a lower low. This is local exhaustion. From here, we have a bullish monthly engulfing. I think we're going to form a higher low somewhere here and then spring up to take out this previous monthly's high. I think to the level around 10.37. Okay, this traded level. On the weekly, we can see that I've drawn this obvious chart that is being used. Yeah. What I feel is going to happen is that DOT is perhaps going to move slightly under this line and then pump up to our general target. I think for this, you're looking for discount buys in this environment in order to get long to that gray area. Now, the paradigm that I gave you on Matic was that a lot of alts were moving into these regions and then primed to move up, such as we got on Alice here, yeah? Okay, that's formed equal highs, but you see the general idea. So I'm expecting something similar for DOT, right? Something like this. Another one which I've been talking about a lot, and by the way, of course, yeah, I tweeted about this right here. No one wanted to like that tweet at this point, and now everyone's probably wanting to chase the move. Look for discounts, all right, when they occur in the local environment. So next one is Gala, and I'm very favorable on this one because, yeah, it's the same structure. swing low. Perhaps we need another higher low here, but you get the idea, yeah? Gala is a very good long if you can get it anywhere from 0.54 to 0.51 towards new highs, yeah? We've got Theta, but Theta's not doing too well at the moment, so I don't really like the structure. Yeah, the weekly didn't close very well. I'll have to leave that up to imagination. I think Theta is going to make a movement up, but we're going to see another higher low from this also. Jasmine. This is one that is looking fantastic to me. It has a lot of battling over time. And for me, we've broken local market structure. We have a swing low that's been formed here and a strong move reaction from that. We have a local market structure break here from this descending line. I think in general, Jasmine is going to put in a very big pump, yeah? This is what I see at least. So the idea is that this thing is going to also form a higher low and then move up, okay? And this in general can be shared with many other charts. So if we look at charts such as Mana, right, we have an important level for Mana that hasn't broken. We have these highs. If we can get above here, I think it was a swift move up to 1.3. Same with GMT, yeah? You can see the levels that are being guarded and being defended. GMT, however, there is also a short opportunity if you get it at the point of market failure. So if we come here and the market starts to fail or is inferred to fail, those are hedge shorts you take against any long positions, yeah? Got HNT here also. So you can see I've got my plans sorted for HNT. But if this breaks this area, then I think we're going higher. Yeah, I'm not long on this yet, but perhaps I will be. And that's basically all I wanted to share for today for this video. The intention was to share setups, yeah, that you can look for. The what's it called? The conclusion for me, however, isn't entirely bullish, yeah? It's the following, right? As long as market context holds, we're gonna see a little more upside on alts. So that's the first point. The second point is the majority of the move on alts is already done. Okay, that's just my opinion, but it's already done in the local environment. I think if we make a new high on specific pairs such as Ethereum, the whole market's gonna go down. Next is, you know, if we make new highs with BTC, it's going to be into the resistance level I played for NASDAQ, and it's probably at a point where the majority are expecting 30K. Okay, at that point, you're looking out for bullish news, right? Something very bullish, some counter indicators. That would be a great way to go short. Aside from that, you know, early signs that the entire market might be dying is bearish engulfing from NASDAQ, break of ascending lows on BTC, and breakdown of ETH, breakdown of Matic, yeah? Use these as your contextual meter. I think there is a lot of danger here. There are some great things to get long on, but don't get complacent because we're still in a bear market, yeah? So these are my conclusions for now. And the last conclusion is that if we move to new lows across the board, it's a good time for me because I'm just going to be buying and adding to more spot bags that I've been accumulating for the past, let's say, month and a half or so. That was a longer video than intended, but I think it was fairly useful for you. Again, these are my conclusions, all right? So I will be following them with my own capital, yeah? So I'm going to be buying the higher low up across the board, and at the same time, I'm ready to push the button either on hedge shorts or shorts if we get signal from one of these or multiple factors here. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. Have a lovely day. Peace.